Thank you, Harkier, gifting 5. Appreciate that. If you were gifted a sub, you can say thank you. If you're brand new to Twitch and you don't know what a subscriber is, it's basically a way of supporting the channel. Get some perks. Get ad reviewing and emotes. Hey, we have a Stafford Gambit. So, about a week ago, I posted a YouTube video that was titled, I killed the Stafford Gambit. And then the next video I posted was a video called The Stafford Gambit is Alive. So now it's time to kill the Stafford Gambit again. I'm going to play D3. And I'll try and be instructive here. We'll try and refute the Stafford as best as possible. So D3 is the recommended move. It does block in the bishop. There's other openings where sometimes this can be inaccurate because you want your bishop outside the pawn chain. But because we've already won a pawn, it's really just about consolidating and preventing the opponent from really getting any counterplay. Yeah, Stafford Gambit refutation time. So opponents taking their time. I mean, really the only move black should play here is bishop c5. Yeah, I'd be surprised if we see anything else. And yeah, now this is actually where a lot of people go wrong from the white side, because some people play this, allowing knight g4. H3 I've seen played, which allows some crazy bishop f2 and knight takes e4. So the best move is simply bishop e2, preventing knight g4, developing the bishop. Now, when I play this move, it looks like maybe I want to castle, but that's another common mistake, is usually white should not castle so early, especially when black plays h5, because the opponent wants to do this, and if I castle, then there's so many lines where black can win quickly. So here there's basically two good moves, but one is much more recommended than the other. The two moves are h3 and c3. I'm going to go ahead and play c3, which is a move I recommend. If h3, there's queen d4, and it can get actually kind of tricky. And then white has to walk a very thin tightrope to be better, like castling queen d6, and I've enjoyed those lines for black. But the point of c3 is simply to expand with d4. And I want to hit the bishop, control the center, maybe eventually d4, e5. Now I'm trying to remember what my opponent played in that first video I posted of killing the Stafford. I think they played bishop to b6, which is one of the better moves. The idea is d4 is prevented because then knight takes e4 is playable. But usually when I'm black in this position, I like to play knight g4, allowing d4 and then queen h4. So we'll see what my opponent wants to do. Oh, my opponent's in the chat. Okay. My opponent said that they're turning off the stream. Yeah, sometimes when I'm explaining all these things, I wonder if the opponent is actually listening, but that's nice to know that the opponent presumably will not be stream sniping. And that's usually recommended. Like if you do happen to play me when I'm streaming, I recommend, yeah, play on your own, don't listen in, but then you can always watch afterwards. Yeah, I will say if you're playing the Stafford, or you're like you study the opening seriously, which I guess I don't recommend for too many players unless you're really passionate about it. Which I definitely fall into that category. then this is a position you should know what to do if you're a regular Stafford player. Um, but my opponent's in a weird situation where they know that I know what the best line should be, but we're going into it anyway. Thank you, T2 Davis. Okay, so I hit the bishop. I remember a time where, like, this was basically the end of the Stafford theory. And then Jonathan Trantz came up with this, like, crazy Queen H4 idea, and then it opened up a whole new world of possibilities. So Queen F6 is not a move I've encountered. I'm actually trying to figure out the difference here. Because usually, yeah, so usually I have this position with the pawn already on G3. And usually I'm black too. But yeah, usually black plays Queen H4, G3, and then Queen F6. So I'm wondering if I play F3, how is it different? Because usually if the pawn's on G3 and white plays F3, then there's H4. But after F3, H4 doesn't really do anything. Let's go for it. I think I'll be winning a piece here. Now there is a really funny line, which I'm wondering if we might go into. And I'm going to trust that my opponent's not listening or watching. The funny line is Queen H4, G3, Queen H3. And then I don't take the knight. I don't take the bishop. I play a move to undevelop my only developed piece. Bishop F1. And for those that can imagine that position, it's really beautiful. So bishop will be trapping the queen. And it'll be move 11. I'll have all my pieces on the back rank. So I'm kind of hoping for that, but we don't quite have it. I'll share the position after the game. I think here I can happily take the knight. Now there's no Queen H4. And now it's time to complete development. E5 is a playable move, but I'm really in no rush. If anything, I just want a queenside castle. Make sure my king is safe. I could play knight c4. Yeah, knight c4 looks nice. I was just creating ideas of taking the bishop. Do I take and give black the pawn cube? Haven't seen a pawn cube in a while. Or do I play queen a4 first and then take? Yeah, let's go for this. So I'm getting ready to take. And then if black takes and creates a pawn cube, I'll deliver checkmate. It'll be the worst pawn cube of all time. Except we're not getting that. Okay, so I think I'll still take the bishop. Because if pawn takes, it's still mate. If that pawn takes, I can take on a7. And I'm being a little bit greedy here. But I think it's with good intention. Because now I can take here. And black's not quite trapping the queen because I'll be able to take and win another pawn. Although I have to be careful because if I take the pawn with the bishop, then rook a8. And then I'm actually losing material, I think, because queen b6, black wins a piece. But I'm already up a piece, so I'd still be winning there. Um, maybe this is better. Queen a5. Yeah, just ensuring that my queen's not getting stuck. And then if b6, I play queen back to a7. If that, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have too much fun. Oh no, my Stafford Gambit. Oh no, your Stafford Gambit. Okay, I think I killed the Stafford again. What to do? I do want to share the funny line though. Good game to my opponent. Yeah, so if f3, and engine's happy for white. But if queen h4, g3, queen h3, bishop f1. It's just so weird to be in a winning position after 11 moves with all the pieces on the back rank. Hey, it's Emberg.
I remember that funny line.
Ah,
You just
Roslovos
trust the
fell
boss's
for
queen
this.
leading to a
Yeah,
connect-8 checkmate, then later he almost beat you in another game.
yeah.
Hope you had a good birthday.
Thank you, Emberg. Yeah, so I guess the other way to get that same idea is if queen h4, we can see I've had this before. Queen h4 is a move I would play as black. And then once my opponent played queen h3, and this was the famous Connect 8 game somewhere on YouTube. Same idea where the queen is trapped. Yeah, this was this was about 2 years ago. And if we look at the final position, spoiler alert, we got here b7 checkmate. I didn't lose a pawn that game. So anyway, if this goes on YouTube, I hope you learned something. I hope people are not too upset that the Stafford Gambit is kind of dead again. And I'll link the video of this game below if you want to check it out. Whoa, it's Sam with $100 hype chat. I think that's my previous opponent. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope there's some lessons to learn. Oh, Sam says, I watch you all the time, man. Thank you for being instructive. Well, that's really kind.